Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Happy Trails Hiking. My name is Kay, and I'm happy that you're here today. Today is Tuesday, and that means fun times for Kay. She has a guest. So I normally talk to people who travel on Tuesdays because it's Travel Tuesday, because I like those kind of alliteration-y kind of things. And today I've got a really special guest for you. Before we get to that, I do want to tell you that this show is brought to you by this fancy mug. I just got it in the mail yesterday, and it has my buddy Trekker on it. And Trekker is on both sides, so you can remember that you're drinking out of a Happy Trails Hiking mug. You can find this mug at happytrailshiking.com/store. Thank you for your support in this way. My guest today, I met a year ago. Basically, 1 year ago today, or this week, at Midwest Travel Network, and she was one of the first smiling faces that I met, and she's from Kansas, and so I know we have some other Kansans in the room, but just for the formal introduction, you're going to love this. Roxie is the Chief Exploring Officer of RoxieOnTheRoad.com. As the blog's name implies, she loves road tripping. Roxie on the Road will celebrate its first anniversary on July 14. Besides her blog, Roxie is a freelance writer for TravelAwaits.com. Roxie belongs to Midwest Travel Network, the Denver Bloggers Club, and the Kansas Explorers Club. She and her husband, Eric, have two cats named Dalby, and Lola. So, guys, if you will help me welcome Roxie on the road to the show. Hey, Roxie, it's good to have you.
Hey, Kay, how are you?
I'm doing well. My internet had some issues this morning, so it's been kind of crazy here, but it's wonderful to have you on the show. I'm so glad you're finally here with me. It's taken a year to get you on. So, all right. We do have people in the room, so let's say hello to them, and then we'll get our party started here. Inspired John says he can't wait to hear from Roxie. So that's awesome. We're doing that now.
Thank you, John.
Marty's Crew, Our Family Adventures is here, and they are our Kansas connection. They are vloggers in Kansas, and you guys should collab sometime. Yep. But Marty's listening from the forklift. His actual name's Tony. Is a good friend of ours, and he says Kansas in the house. So there we go. Whoop whoop, exactly. Raise the roof. And Country Pilgrim is here, and I don't know if you know Dan, but yes. Dan is awesome and has a YouTuber and a blogger, so from Iowa. So that's awesome. Thank you all for being here so far. And if those of you who are already in the chat will help me welcome those new folks to come in the room as we go, I'm going to get started on this interview. All right, Roxie, my first question for you is, you've only been doing this for a year, but you know Kansas tourism like the back of your hand. Well, let's just be honest, right? Exactly. So can you give us a little background on your background in tourism?
Well, let's see. For 18 years, I did the Ultimate Guide to Northwest Kansas. Okay. So that took me around our part of the state.
Yeah.
I live only 3 hours from Denver, so I mean, I am really, really Northwest Kansas.
Gotcha.
And then I worked for Sherman County Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is Goodland.
Okay.
For, let's see, I started pretty much in 13 as a volunteer.
Gotcha.
So 6 years. And also I was the administrator for Kansas I-70 Association for a few years. So that took me across the state.
That's awesome. See, guys, she knows the Midwest, but not only the Midwest. She's only 3 hours from Denver. So if I were only 3 hours from Denver, I would spend all of my time in the Rocky Mountains. But she knows the Rockies as well. And her blog, the most recent blog that she put out, was on Fluorescent Fossil Beds National Monument. Am I correct?
That's correct.
That's close. Okay. And I just we just visited there on our Rockies road trip in 2018, but I'd never heard of it before. So I loved her blog. That was 10 Reasons to Enjoy Fluorescent Fossil Beds National Monument. I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. And I just put out a park travel short about that as well. So yeah, she has a whole section of her blog on Colorado and one on Montana. And you say that your family is rooted in the South. So can you tell us a little bit of family history there?
My brother married a girl from Alabama. And went down there to live. So they got married in Gulf Shore. Well, actually, their wedding was in Orange Beach, but Gulf Shore is Orange Beach. There's not a whole lot of difference between them. So I love Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
And then they ended up moving to Louisiana, and we fell in love with Louisiana. Awesome. And then they moved to Mississippi, and we love Mississippi too. So I grew up in Tennessee, spent my early life in Tennessee.
Ooh, what part of Tennessee? Hold on. Chattanooga. Gotcha. I'm from the other side of the state.
Really?
Yeah, over in the Jackson, between Memphis and Nashville area, so west side of the state. So, and that's where my family still lives. But you really are rooted in the deep South, though, because I would say that I'm from the Mid-South. And in Jackson, Tennessee, they even have the Mid-South Fair. So, anyway, that's me. But
the only thing they haven't got me to drink is sweet tea. Other than that, I love Southern food.
Yeah, I'm highly too Midwestern to drink sweet tea.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I've tried. I got my honorary Southerner certificate from my friend Amy when I was, 13. She says, all right, we've been hanging out for a year now. You get an honorary Southerner certificate. I was like, oh, that's so funny. So I did that. And she was like, now you have to drink the celebratory sweet tea from Granny. And I tried.
Oh, man. I just can't do it.
I was like, can we add a little lemon to that? And she was like, lemon? No, we don't add lemon to sweet tea. I was like, okay.
Well, at least that way you can drink it because it's lemonade. It's out.
Exactly. Marty's crew wants to let you know that they are from the Flint Hills in Junction City. So they've right on the I-70.
I love the Flint Hills.
Aren't they beautiful? Marty's crew introduced us to the Flint Hills a year ago in April. So we got to go to Kanza Prairie, and that was quite an introduction. I was really thrilled. And Country Pilgrim says, I love your shorts. I was like, I'm not wearing any cute shorts today, but I knew what he meant. Your travel shorts, my little videos. I got it. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. And if you guys have any questions that you want to ask Roxie, please make sure you put @HappyTrailsHiking in your question, and I'll make sure we get those on the air for you. Another thing I would love to have you guys do is share this out to your social media. Let other people know that you're watching and that they should come watch with you, because that's right. Really fun. Okay, now, so you say that you travel with your husband, Eric. Do you guys always travel as a family, or do you do some solo trips?
No, I was just in Leavenworth, Kansas as a solo trip. I mean, he has a job. So you can't just travel with me all the time. Now, as much as possible, I love to travel with him. It's so much more fun. I mean, you know this yourself. It's so much more fun to be able to share your experience with somebody else. But there are advantages to traveling solo because, look at that. That's cool. And just pull over and you don't have to worry about, why do you want to do that? Because it looks interesting,
Right. So does Eric have the same kind of travel bug that you do? Or is he more of a, I just want to travel and get somewhere?
We're more of life is the journey.
Gotcha. I love that. Exactly. Brooks next is here, and he is from Nowhere, Alaska. And that's someplace I would like to go visit is Nowhere, Alaska. So maybe we need to go see Broke next. It's good to see you, Broke next. Thanks for coming. This is Roxie on the Road, and she runs the blog and website, roxieontheroad.com. And so, Roxie, let me ask you, you've been doing this for a year now. What has been your favorite thing about being a travel blogger for this year?
I always wanted to be a travel writer. I mean, as a little girl, I'd sit there and I'd get travel magazines and travel anything. Like, dang, man, I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. Sure, right, Roxie, you're going to do that. It's like the dream come true. It's a total dream come true.
Awesome.
And I still pinch myself sometimes. It's like, are you really doing this?
Nice, right? We have the best job in the world.
Oh, yeah, awesome job.
I mean, like it's not easy. I would not say that this being a travel writer, or travel blogger, or travel professional is easy. I mean, trying to get the gigs, you got to get people to want you to travel to places. You don't just get to travel around and write about stuff and have people pay you for that. It just doesn't work. You actually have to make the proposals and put out the ideas to the places. Well, you do that all the time, but lots of people don't know that. I've got people all the time who go, how do you get to do all these cool things? Well, I write up proposals and I ask. So, and sometimes you don't get to do the coolest things that you thought. So what's the coolest thing that you think you've gotten to do as a travel writer so far? Hard question, huh? So many great things.
Yeah, so many great things. Well, just before I became a travel blogger, we hosted the big Kansas road trip here in Sherman, Cheyenne, and Wallace counties.
Wow. And so what did that entail for those people who might not know what the big Kansas road trip is?
Basically, we invite everybody through the Kansas Sampler Foundation to come and spend the weekend with us.
Okay.
So we had to publish a book and all kinds of prep work. And then here comes all these people to enjoy. And I was escorting our friends, Melody Pittman and Sarah Browers, as they were blogging. And we went to a buffalo ranch.
Oh.
And he was having tours.
Okay.
And I sang Home in the Range to the buffalo. That was awesome.
Nice. Did they moo along or?
Oh, they just kept coming closer and closer to hear this song. And I don't know whether they were like, who is this crazy woman? Or they were enjoying it. I don't know. But it was the coolest thing.
Oh, that's hilarious. I think I would have gotten nervous as they started coming closer and closer and closer. But I guess there's probably a little bit of difference between a herd of buffalo or bison on a ranch and a herd of wild bison like in Yellowstone or
well, they're wild. I mean, they're domesticated in the fact that they you feed them and we care for them, but
sure,
bison aren't tame.
Right, they're not cows or horses for that matter.
No, they're wild.
Yeah. And
so
Marty Screw says that's awesome. There's about a 10 to 15 second delay, so they just got to hear that you were singing to the bison. So that's awesome. And Inspired John says, "Neat, I'd pay to see that." And Country Pilgrim is saying, "Nope, they're pretty wild." So there's like, I don't know. I guess I was comparing it to cattle ranching, and it's not like cattle ranching's like the cows are tame, but they're used to being fed and things. Right. And they've got their patterns that they do, but I'm not a part of the bison's patterns when you go to Custer State Park. I just, so those kinds of things. So I was comparing it to that. I've never been to a bison ranch, but that's really cool that you got
to come here and we'll arrange for that.
Oh, wow. Wow. That'd be fun. That's really cool. So, excuse me. What is the one thing that you like best about travel writing? I know that it's hard to pick, but if you could pick one thing, what is the one thing that you like best?
The best part is you get to live it in the moment that you're living it.
Okay.
And then I come home and I write about it, and I'm there again in my mind.
Yes.
And I'm hoping, my goal always is, that you get to experience the same joy that I got to experience too. The feel of the wind in my hair and the smell of, well, right now I'm writing a story about Cajun country for travelawaits.com.
Sure.
And going to the French market in New Orleans, and they have all of these wonderful spice blends and everything else, and the smell of heaven. And of course, your wallet's jumping out of your pocket and buying things. I'm like, I gotta ship this home.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yes, I think, joy. And joy is a perfect word. I always say that we like to have people experience the euphoria.
Yes.
We experience out in our parks or wherever we're going. So yeah, I think that joy is a wonderful word. I like euphoria. Marty's crew says, talk to the rangers at Tallgrass Prairie about bison herding. It's very interesting. So Marty, I think you should create a video about that that experience. I love to talk to rangers and do interviews and things like that.
Yeah.
And I know that you talk to people all the time, Roxie. That when I met Roxie was like, I'm going to talk to this person. Now I'm going to go and talk to this person. I'm going to go and talk to this person. Hey, Kate, come over and meet this person. And I just loved that about Roxie when I met her. So Roxie, on your travels, tell me one of the most interesting people you remember from your travels, and tell me their story, because that's what you do. You tell stories. And while you're thinking about that one, I'm going to go over a few comments. John says, I bet the smell is good. My wallet loves food.
It is good. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. I love spice markets and things like that. We have, especially around Christmas time. Anyway, but that's all right. All right. So got your person? I know that's a good question. All right. So who's your favorite?
About ranger talks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was with my dad at Little Bighorn National Battlefield in 2011.
Wow.
And we went to this ranger talk. Oh my gosh. He made that battle come alive. I'll never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
He had wonderful props, wonderful stories, and he was telling us that during the school year that he was a teacher, and this is like his first year that he retired. And I thought, man, can you imagine having this guy as a teacher? He would love history. Oh my gosh, he was amazing. And the details and the stories that he told me, I can still, in my mind, picture Custer and his scouts standing up there on the crow's nest looking down, and some of the, if you've ever been to Little Bighorn, you'll know that the battlefield is deceptive. It looks flat.
I agree.
But it's not. It's like, and there's all these dips and stuff.
There are some crevasses there. Yeah.
Yes.
Like just good places to hide for lack of anything else to say.
And Custer, being uber competitive, thinks that he is going to go and he's going to beat everybody out, and he's going to solve the Indian problem once and for all by himself. Oops. And I never forget that guy's talk, and he's got the 7th Cavalry guide on, their flag and the whole thing. And he brought that battle absolutely to life.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. The Country Pilgrim says, see, people who go beyond just the story and add detail make it worth it. They get it.
Yeah, it makes you, and that's what I want to do. I want you to live what I lived.
Right. I've been doing these partial shorts for YouTube because I get to give all the information about in a really period of time. it's also leading people to see my other videos where they can get my perspective of the action, not just the facts about the park, but my perspective. Here's what we saw and felt when we were there. And that's why I love doing those. And that's also why I love reading your blogs. I'm not a big reader. I just, admittedly, I'm in video because I'm not a big reader, but I've met so many bloggers that I like to read their blogs and follow their story and find out what they liked about their explorations. There we go. So if you had one section of your blog that you would want to share with others and with our viewers, because we can do that here because, well, I can share a screen or two. Which article would you be most interested in sharing on our show here today? Or do you remember?
Our local VFW Post is named the Lowell Coleman Post.
Okay.
So I was curious, who is Lowell Coleman?
Okay.
Well, come to find out that the backstory for this post is so touching and moving.
Okay.
My husband works in a nursing home.
Gotcha. And
he has read this story to so many of them because it's so special. So now the one, yeah, right there.
That one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. All right. So if you can give us a shortened version, that would be great. And then I will encourage other folks to go and read it. But it's called Two Brothers in Arms Lay Down Their Lives. So if you can you give us a shortened version here, Rox?
Yes. So the Coleman and his friend Daryl Dunkel, who he made in the Army, are stationed in Washington State.
Okay.
By this strange coincidence, they're on a troop train and they pull up in Goodland, Coleman's hometown, on Christmas Day.
Okay.
And of course, the whole town, this is a small town, the whole town comes out and takes care of these troops. Then they get to France and they fall together. They're killed together. Daryl Dunkel actually rescued another man and then turned to try to help his buddy, and they were both killed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's such a moving story. And I was so touched when I read it, and when I began to read the story about it. It's like, wow, what a crazy story.
Wow, that is crazy. I will definitely take a look at that now. Our friend here in the show, Inspired John, has a history buff channel, and and it's called The History Buff. But he this would be a story that he would enjoy covering, and maybe you guys could do a collab on that. You
go.
That would be a fun thing. I would love it if my vlogger friends and my blogger friends would do more collaborations together. I think that would be really cool.
That would be great.
Yeah, wouldn't it? It would keep you from having to learn all the video side of things, Roxie. Roxie's got so much stuff going on right now that she cannot even add anything else. I know that there's no way. She's got Roxie on the Road, and she's got Roadies. That's your group on Facebook, right?
That's right.
Roadies with Roxie on the Road. And so she got Roxie on the Road Facebook page. She's got RoxieOnTheRoad.com. She has Roxie on the Road on Twitter. Do you have an Instagram as well? Because
I do. Roxie on the Road and LinkedIn. And
oh my gosh. Yeah. So she's covered on all the socials. Just make sure that you make sure to check her out. All right. My standard questions that I ask to everyone. We got 5 minutes left to answer these. All right. So what is the hardest thing about being a travel blogger?
Well, you kind of touched on that. It's just managing it all.
That's true.
Like, how do I pitch and do all my social media stuff and write? And well, I have a book coming up. So, I got to write the book. writingfortravelawaits.com. Figure out how to travel so that I can get new content.
Right. So, during COVID-19 and not get sick and not get anybody else sick. And I get it.
Remember to wear, so I was in Leavenworth and I like, okay, so I'm going to take a bandana because I don't own a mask. I mean, we've hardly had any cases here, thank God. And I haven't been anywhere to wear a mask anyway.
Gotcha.
And the dang bandana kept falling down. Anyway, so I'm doing this. And I felt like a robber.
You're fine. Everybody feels that way these days. It's okay. Wear that mask. Keep everybody safe. It's all good.
So fortunately, one place I stopped had them have real masks so that helped. I kept it.
Yep. That's true. All right. Then my next question is, what is your dream destination or tour? Your dream destination or tour?
Okay, so stateside, I have never been to Wisconsin. That is the only Midwest state I've never been to.
Wow.
I would love to go to Wisconsin, and I've just barely been in Michigan and Minnesota. So it would be great to actually be in the upper Midwest.
Awesome.
I haven't
gotten there either. I mean, not since I was
there,
Yeah. Road trip. Okay.
On the other side of the pond, my family, the genealogists in my family say that we were, on my mother's side, we were borderers, which means that our family lived just north of the English-Scottish border, and that our family would come over and raid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, in fact, I've found ballads about the Telfers. They're raiding proclivities.
Oh, wow.
So I would like to check that out.
Funny enough, my friend Rachel Rawson, she's from the UK. She's from the Sheffield area over in England, and she might do a collab when you get over there to go check.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, hey, Rachel, it's good to see you. And Country Pilgrim says Iowa should be our dream destination, and he's shocked that we have not been up to the north. Yeah, I have not spent enough time in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan since I was a child. I need to get up there.
Now, I've been in Iowa.
Yeah, I have too. I grew up in Iowa, age 1 through 12. Marty's Crew says, what's a destination in Kansas that you would like to visit? They're trying to explore Kansas with their 4 teenage kids. So they got to get their teenagers out and about in Kansas. They've been doing this for a couple of years. Where should they take them?
Well, let's see. So this book that I'm about to write the first one is about byways. So I'm going to do feature 4, and then Land and Sky, which I live on, the Flint Hills, which I adore.
Yeah.
Route 66 is kind of a given. And then Glacial Hills, which I just got back from. So you need to go check out Glacial Hills.
Glacial Hills. Now, I'm going to be driving through Kansas this summer. I'm going to ask you more about this because I'm going to spend Labor Day weekend actually in Kansas. But on my way back from Denver, or on my way back from the Rocky Mountain National Park. But yeah, I've never been to the Glacial Hills. So what is that?
It runs from Leavenworth up to the state line.
Okay.
And if you think Kansas is flat, which it isn't, you will definitely find out differently in the Glacial Hills.
Okay.
Basically, the glaciers piled up these hills. And there's lots of history. It's very beautiful. It was so green. I was getting rained on. And in western Kansas, it's been very dry. So I was like, this is great. And the rain is warm. So Leavenworth has wonderful walking trails.
Mm-hmm.
Atchison is you get your workout in Atchison because it's on a hill. Okay. Amelia Earhart's birthplace museum is there, but it was closed unfortunately because of COVID. But it looks like the American Gothic house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I visited there when I visited Ottumwa, Iowa this year. So
I just laughed when I pulled up. We were there in like 97, so I'd kind of forgotten. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the American Gothic house. I need to do Green Acres.
Green Acres is
the place to be.
All right.
Heaven is the life for me.
Okay. Oh my goodness, we gotta stop. Well, I'm at my time limit here. My last question for you is, what would you want to share with all of our folks for advice about traveling, in a nutshell, of course? Before I let you go today, don't leave without giving some good Roxie advice.
My advice is make an itinerary so that you kind of know what you're going to get, but be prepared to throw it out the window.
Haha. Very good advice. Very good advice. Roxie, thank you so much for being on with me today. It's a joy to talk to you always.
Oh, yes. It's always so fun to talk to you.
Oh, well, thanks. And I hope that you will get lots of visitors from this video, and that, that you'll come back and join me maybe next season after you've gotten some more blogging and books and things under your belt.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great.
That'll be fun. And so things that are coming up for you are, what's coming up next on Travel Awaits is your New Orleans Cajun.
Yes, I'm working on that right now. Hopefully have it done. I'd love to have it sent to the editing process today. We'll see whether I can accomplish that.
Okay. And then there's a book coming out about byways.
Right.
That's exciting. And then what's next on your blog?
I'm going to write about Leavenworth.
Awesome. That'll be great. And Marty's crew can read about that and then plan to take his kids over. And I will plan to try to check it out on my way back from the Rockies. We'll see.
Yeah, and you remember, when you come back from the Rockies, you're going to go right by my house. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, send a message on my way. It's all good. Hey, Roxie, if you'll hang out for a second, I'm going to close out the show.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I need to do a couple of things. Go to roxieontheroad.com. Link is in the description. And visit Roxie. Leave her a comment. Let her know you saw her on Happy Trails hiking. 2, please be sure to hit the like button and share this out with other folks who need to know somebody about road tripping around the U.S. because Roxie does a great job at it. And 3, go out and live the life you love today. And remember, you are not replaceable. Have a great day, guys.